Hey guys, it's Stacy, and today I am here with another BookTube SFF Babbles, and this week's topic is auto-buy authors for science fiction and fantasy. So I have 4, I believe, to show you, and if you hear anything or see anything in the background, it's Betty. She's pouting this morning. She's pouted all day yesterday and today, so let's just get into it because I do have 4 here to talk about. So the first author I have is a YA author, and that is Rae Carson. One of my favorite trilogies of all time is The Girl of Fire and Thorns. I fucking love this trilogy. I have not read this one yet, but I'm hoping to soon. I know this one's like more historical fiction type fantasy. It's set in the gold rush era. The main character can sense gold. This one follows a girl who is the bearer of the Godstone, and she is married off in an arranged marriage, and it just goes from there. Each book gets better and better. There's so much adventure and character growth, and it is just so amazing. I really want to reread this because this trilogy is phenomenal, like phenomenal. Like one of the greatest things I've ever read in my life. Type phenomenal. I read this a long time ago. It was one of the first like true high fantasies that I read. I read it back in 2015, I think. I love this trilogy. I'm excited to read this trilogy. I know I'm gonna love it because I love Rae Carson's writing. The next one I have is more of a new favorite of mine, and that is Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. This is my favorite books by her so far. This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet. This is the Monsters of Verity duology. It is amazing. I've also read the Archived, and I've read all of the Shades of Magic trilogy, which I also freaking adore, but this one is my favorite. It follows August and Kate. August is a monster and Kate is a human. All August wants is to be a human, and all Kate wants is to be a monster, and it's set in this fantasy type post-apocalyptic world where every act of sin or crime creates some type of monster. There is the Sunai, which is what August is, the Korsai, which is these weird type creatures, and then the Malachi, which are more human-like than the Korsai, but not like the Sunai. It's really cool. It is really amazing. It is dark. It is gritty. It is fan-freaking-tastic. These are some of my favorite books of all time. I fucking love this series, especially Our Dark Duet. Like, one of the best books I've ever read in my life. One of the best conclusions I've ever read in my life. The next one is Samantha Shannon. She's the author of The Bone Season currently. The Bone Season is The Bone Season, The Mime Order, and The Song Rising are the only books she has out, but she does have another book coming out called The something Orange Tree Pyrenees. I don't know. I'm gonna read it. But the series is really complicated, and I understand why a lot of people don't like it. It is another fantasy post-apocalyptic type world. It's set in like a fantasy type London, where there are clairvoyants. The main character in this one page, she is a clairvoyant, and clairvoyants are like illegal in this world, and they get rounded up and sent to like this concentration type camp thing. It is amazing. Paige is one of my favorite characters of all time. She is badass. She is like kind of morally gray, and there's also found family in this, so if you like found families, read this, because I'm trash for found families. But this is my favorite book of all time. The Bone Season is. I reread it and everything, and I want to reread it again because I love this series so much. The next one I have is Erika Johansen. She is the author of The Queen of the Tierling. I love this series. I've only read the first 2 books. I'm waiting to read the last and final book after the BookTube SFF Awards because I really want to take my time with the final book like I did with these. But these are amazing. This is the only trilogy Erika Johansen has out, but whatever book she writes next, I will read. This follows a character named Kelsey, who at the age of 18 has to go back to her kingdom and reclaim her throne, and it is just about so much politics and everything. This is a slow burn type series, and slow burns, like stories that are slow but things are happening but they're not like super action packed, are like my favorite thing ever, and that's what this is. Kelsey is an awesome main character. She doesn't give a fuck what people think or what they tell her. She's gonna do what she thinks is right, and I love that about Kelsey. She is so badass, and for this series there are trigger warnings for rape, and sexual assault and probably a lot of other things that I'm not thinking of, but definitely a trigger warning for rape, especially in the second book, I believe. So if that kind of thing bothers you, because it does get pretty graphic from what I'm remembering. But I love this series. It is so good. It kind of teeters on the new young adult fantasy, because, I mean, Kelsey's 18, but with the content in this book, I would consider it more like new adult fantasy instead of YA fantasy. I would not put this under the YA category. And the last author, if you know me, you know this is coming. Sherrilyn Kenyon. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Stacy, and I'm Sherrilyn Kenyon Trash. This is the Dead Man Walking series. This is the first book, Dead Man Walking. The second book, Death Doesn't Bargain, comes out next month, I believe, but she has a lot of series. She has the Chronicles of Nick, which is her YA series, the Dark Hunter series, which is an adult urban fantasy, the League series, which is an adult fantasy series. This series, she's co-wrote some series that I've also read and loved, but I decided to hold this one up because I want more people to read this book. It's really, really good. I love this. This one follows pirates, so if you like pirates, read this. There's also some romance in here. She writes good romance. She writes good smut. I love Sherrilyn Kenyon. I do have a tattoo of the Chronicles of Nick symbol on my arm. That's how much trash I am. The Chronicles of Nick is my favorite series of all time. Nothing is ever going to top that series for me. It is my everything. But I love Sherrilyn Kenyon. I want to read all of her books one day. She has so many books to choose from, but I love her so much. I'm trash for her. So that is it for today's video. Comment some of your auto-buy authors, and I will see you guys in another one. Bye!